So guys, how can we get a driving license very quickly, or what are the steps that we should be taking in order to get a driving license? First few things, I'll give you guys some advice. One is, make sure you apply for your provisional license. If you want it fairly quickly, you're allowed to take the provisional license or apply for it 3 months before your 17th birthday, and if you have a disability, 3 months before your 16th birthday. So apply for your provisional license in advance. Number two, start revising for your theory test. You cannot do your practical driving test unless you've passed your theory test. You can take driving lessons without your theory test being passed. So if you want as well, start doing your driving lessons while you're preparing for your theory test. But do get the theory test out the way. If you're certain that you're going to be banging out the lessons and trying to prepare yourself for the driving test, definitely get the theory test out the way, as you have a 2 years window gap from passing your theory test to passing your practical driving test. Next, I'll say is find a qualified driving instructor. So they should have a badge like this, and the picture at the front, that's my picture there. So that way you'll know you got a qualified driving instructor teaching you the correct things you need to learn to drive. Obviously, you might have a personality clash with your driving instructor. Do see if they got reviews online, check their reviews, see what they're like, and then you can pick yourself which driving instructor that you want to go ahead with. So find a qualified driving instructor. That's my advice to you. The other thing you can do is take extra few driving lessons with your family members, your mates, if they obviously have the correct qualifications. You have to be over 21, 3 years driving license experience, if I remember correctly. What else? 3 years, obviously old plates, etc. A suitable car. So but obviously if you live with your parents, maybe your parents will have a car. Obviously they should be old enough, so if they give you the chance to drive in their car, take advantage of it. It doesn't mean that you're gonna be really quick learner, because sometimes learning in a different car, so your parents' car might be quite big, might be actually hampering your driving progression. So check it out. If your parents are going to let you the chance or give you the chance to practice regularly before your test, then definitely take up the chance. The other thing I would advise you is, make sure you take more than one lesson a week if you're not ready for the test, of course. Okay, so we're not saying that just to make money out of you, but driving is all about experience. It's all about being on the road. It's not theoretical. You have to practically know how to drive, practically know how to make decisions, be sharp, be quick, be ready to make decisions in split seconds. So you can only learn that when you're on the road. So do take more than one lesson a week if you can. So most instructors, they do 2-hour sessions in a week, so one lesson will be 2 hours. Not all driving instructors, but if you do 1 hour a week, up it up a bit, do maybe 2 or 3 every few days or so. So that way it'll be fresh in your head, it's regular, you'll be prepared for the test a lot more quicker than someone who takes 1 hour lesson a week. Guys, before we get back into the video of how to get your driving license quite quickly and the step-by-step guide, don't forget also we got a website up, fmdrivingschool.co.uk, and you can see on our site all these resources, driving modules, how to drive a car, learner guide, our recent YouTube videos and certain links towards the videos, driving instructor and students. So you can always go through these resources. They're all free, quite a few links up as well, so go check it out, and that should hopefully give you a few more extra tips on how to get your driving license quite quickly. Let's get back into the video. You can also do mock tests with your driving instructor. So obviously your instructor, especially if they're qualified, as I mentioned earlier, if they're qualified, then they should know some of the routes, they should know how an examiner marks, they should know how an examiner thinks, and how to prepare you for your driving test. So obviously they got that experience. Someone like your parent or your mates, they've just got limited amount of experience with probably some bad habits now over the years they picked up, and they won't fully understand, for example, the importance of checking your mirrors left and right whenever you're moving. Imagine your family member is a van driver, they don't even have an inside mirror, they can't see it, so they're not used to look at their inside mirror no more. So if you got a qualified instructor, they can do a mock test with you, and that should give you an idea what level you're at. So as a teacher, we can say there's a few ways of teaching. You teach someone by guiding them, by explaining to them. You teach someone by asking them what should they be doing. Also, you teach someone by just letting them drive, okay? And in a mock test, that's exactly what you're doing. You're letting them make the mistakes, letting them commit to the fault, and then afterwards the teacher will guide them saying, no, this is how you should have done it. So mock test is always really good as you get closer to your driving test. You should also try to practice with your driving instructor in the test area and test routes. And the reason why we say that is, I know some people might say, but if you can drive, you should be able to drive anywhere. You know, if you do your driving test and you fail, that's your problem. But no, every area is slightly different. Every area has certain surprises that you would not have seen maybe if you hadn't driven there. So I'll give you an example. Maybe some areas will have a small roundabout right next to a zebra crossing. And if you practice in that area, you know what's coming. Obviously, as a safe driver, you should be able to see it in advance, okay? But if it's so close next to each other, maybe you wouldn't have that split second as someone who knew the area, who knows there's a zebra crossing coming, and they're ready to react to it in case someone crosses. So it's always helpful to know the area and to practice at the test routes. Also, guys, don't forget to book your driving test in advance. The waiting list might be 8 weeks long, maybe it might be 10 weeks long. You know, so in your area there might be a long queue of waiting list. So if you know you're taking enough lessons and you want to pass really quickly and you're doing all the things that you need to do to prepare yourself for the test, don't just get ready and then book the driving test and then having to wait another two months, maybe 3 months for the driving test, and then you lose all that. You know, maybe you're not going to take enough lessons now because you've had a lot before. So I would say if you're taking a lot of lessons, maybe after a month, start booking the driving test, and then you know, okay, you got something to work towards. And by the time you know you do all those lessons, you're going to be ready for the driving test. So try your best to book the driving test in advance, I would say. You can always also look at online resources. There's so many things online that you can check out, from learning your theory tests online to watching loads of driving videos. I mean, on our channel ourselves, we've got loads of students doing mock tests. You got myself giving you advice how an examiner will mark you, how they would think, how they want you to drive. So watch our channel online, watch all the videos, and that should give you added support in your driving lessons and in order for you to pass your driving test. So those are some of our step-by-step guide in how to get your driving license quite quickly. So number one, apply for your provisional license. As soon as you hit the age, apply for it. Get your theory test out the way. So pass as soon as you can. Find your qualified driving instructor and start practicing. Get the hours in. Try to get extra help from your family and friends. So if someone has a car and it's legal, it's, you know, you got the correct insurance, see if they can give you the chance to practice in their car. And as we mentioned, it's all about practicing, experiencing, driving on the road. Use all the resources available. So check online. There's so many YouTube videos out there, so many resources. So do check online. That way, wherever you learn in the lessons, you won't forget. Number 6, try to do a mock test with your driving instructor. So that way you'll know what level you're at, how you're progressing in your tests, in your lessons, sorry. 7, practice in the test area. Really important to understand this. As we mentioned, every area is going to be slightly different, so do practice in the area. And finally, try to book your driving test in advance. There'll be a big waiting list, a massive queue, so there's no point doing all this work and then having to wait another 2-3 months for your driving test. So do book it in advance. Hopefully all that was useful, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Comment below if that was helpful. Let me know what other videos you want me to make, and please click the button, like the video and subscribe. Click the notification button so you're up to date with all the latest videos that I make myself. Thank you again for watching.